Hello everyone, it is the 11th of March. So the word this week was trio, and that, considering its connotations to music, is where the words sort of originated, would be pretty easy for me to discuss. I could talk about some great trios of musical history, but as I'm not feeling that great, and that I just thought it was a bit too easy. Thinking about trio in the term of things in groups of three, I remembered a discussion I was having on a forum a few months ago, talking about album sequencing and your favourite groups of 3 songs in a row on an album. Yeah, I like the idea of an album as a whole rather than individual songs, and I think album sequencing is very important, and I really enjoy listening to album all the way through. So I thought I'd share with you some of my favourite 3 songs in a row on an album. Fleet Foxes. On this one I love the opening song, Sun It Rises, goes into White Winter Hymnal, which is the song I knew, so it was nice, sort of familiar going into that. And then Ragged Wood. Houses Holy. Starts with The Song Remains the Same, goes into the Rain song, and then Over the Hills and Far Away, which I just love. It starts off Song Remains the Same really big, really loud, and then goes into the Rain song, which is acoustic and nice and drawn out and really calm. Then it goes into Over the Hills and Far Away, which starts out calm, and then quickly sort of becomes so much more upbeat. Everything All the Time by Band of Horses. I only finally got around to getting this the other day, but I wanted it for a while. And on here I love The Funeral, which was the song that, it's the 4th track in. It was the song that I heard by them first. Then it goes into part 1, and then into The Great Salt Lake. I really have just grown to like that sequence already. The Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars. Ziggy Stardust, Suffragette City, Rock and Roll Suicide. The closer to the album, and just so, I don't know the word for it. I remember when Abby did her response to the Crypt Project last year about how she thought that Suffragette City was just the essence of rock and roll, and I think that's the best way to sum up the 3 closing tracks on this album and why I love them so much. R.E.M. Out of Time. Low, which is the 3rd song, and then you have Near Wild Heaven, and then you have Endgame, which is instrumental. Tak by Sigur Rós, however you say it. Sigur Rós. I don't know. I've tried, I've failed many times. What I love about it is Hoppípolla on the album, when I listen to it, it fades out in the most beautiful way that Hoppípolla does. And then it goes into the next song, Mjög blúdna sér, which, at the beginning of the song, I'm not sure if this is actually the technique they used or if it actually is, but in my head it sounds like when you've just finished listening to Hoppípolla, it sounds like Mjög blúdna sér is just Hoppípolla reversed, in a sort of reverse sequence, but it's the most perfect blend between songs, and that's why they do it live, back to back, all the time, and it just sounds so perfect. And so those 2 songs on their own would be fine, but Glossally comes before. I'm pronouncing all of this wrong, I'm trying my best. It comes before Hoppípolla, and I love that song too, so it would have Glossally, Hoppípolla, Mjög blúdna sér. Another Led Zeppelin, for Zoso, Untitled, whatever you call it. Oh, I don't know how many times I could split this up. Black Dog, Rock and Roll, The Battle of Evermore. Black Dog, it's not their best song, but it's such a confident and arrogant start to an album before you go into the fun rock and roll nature of rock and roll, and then you have the utterly ethereal sort of Lord of the Rings obsessed Robert Plant lyrics of Battle of Evermore. But also you could go the Battle of Evermore into Stairway to Heaven and then Misty Mountain Hop, which is just following the epicness of Stairway to Heaven. You then have this sort of fun bopping, oh I don't know, I'm splitting it up multiple times again. Misty Mountain Hop, 4 Sticks Going to California. I cannot fault the sequencing on this album. I really can't. I think originally when I first entered into discussion on this album, my conclusion was 4 Sticks Going to California When the Levee Breaks. Diary by Sunny Day Real Estate. It opens with 7, which is the first song of them I heard, and I was hooked instantly, and goes into In Circles and then Song About an Angel. And those are, in my opinion, the best songs on the album, so you could be tempted to just stop listening after them, because it doesn't get any better than those 3 songs, one after the other, to open an album for me. But there are other gems on it, like 48, 47, Blankets of the Stairs, but those 3 songs this is the only instance where my favourite 3 songs from a band come in the first 3 songs on an album. Some of you may see that as a bad thing, but it just makes the album all the better for me, and I love it. Sunset Tree by Mountain Goats. This one I would have to go for song for Dennis Brown, Love Love Love, Pale Green Things. In Our Nature by Jose Gonzalez. It's again the closing 3 on this. The Nest, Fold, and Cycling Trivialities. My battery just went on my camera because I've just been going on for so long and it wasn't very charged. And I only have 40 minutes of footage that I've had to condense down. So moving on, I'm going to go just rapid through. I've had to cut out all the explanations. Got T-Cats, The Colour and the Shape by Foo Fighters. This is another one that you could split up multiple times. You could go for Monkey Wrench, Hey Johnny Part, My Poor Brain at the beginning. You could go for My Poor Brain, Wind Up, Up in Arms. But my favourite 3 would have to be the last 3 on the album. Everlong, Walking After You, New Way Home. Everlong being in its own sort of sphere of... I still think it's the best song that Foo Fighters have written. And then you have Walking After You, which is just a sad breakup song. And then you move into New Way Home, which... when you're listening to them in order and you get so into the calm of Walking After You and then it fades out and then New Way Home and it's back and it's pumping and it's the energy from the first of the album brought right back, and it's like you're over all that sadness from the last song. Who cares that you're walking after this girl who dumped you? It's just so upbeat, it's so happy, and it's just a brilliant close. It is my favourite closing song on an album because it builds up the energy, then it stops, and then it sort of pauses and it builds up the energy once again until you go from whispering to shouting at the end, and it's the brilliant close of the album with 2 fantastic preceding songs. So those 3 are, no doubt about it, one of my concrete favourite 3 songs in a row. Automatic for the People by R.E.M. Again, split up so many times. Drive, Try Not to Breathe, Sidewinder Sleeps Tonight. Sidewinder Sleeps Tonight, Everybody Hurts, New Orleans instrumental. It just... Sweetness Follows, Monty Got a Raw Deal, Ignoreland. That, I think, is my favourite 3. Sweetness Follows, my favourite R.E.M. song. Utterly beautiful. Moves into Monty Got a Raw Deal, which reminds me of a holiday from years ago, and it fits the same pessimistic tone of the whole album. And then you go into Ignoreland, which has some righteous political outrage, and it's a brilliant little package right in the middle of such a beautiful album. And yeah, another concrete 3. The Blue Album by Weezer. Again, right in the middle of the album, Undone the Sweater Song, Surfax America, Say It Ain't So. Can't explain it, I just love those 3 songs. The Cure, Pornography, Siamese Twins, The Figurehead, A Strange Day. This whole album, many people could listen to it and think every song is the same because it just sounds so depressing and hopeless and angry, but those 3 are just my favourite. They have this amazing power in the drums, and those are my favourite 3 on the album. They come right in the middle again, and then after A Strange Day you have Cold, which slows right down again, but up until then you've kept the pace going. And Led Zeppelin 2, undoubtedly here it's What Is and What Should Never Be, the Lemon Song, and then Thank You. What Is and What Should Never Be, I can't go into explaining this song, but the Lemon Song just is pure funk. It's just so sexual and arrogant on the part of the bass line and Robert Plant's vocal. But then you go into Thank You, which is Robert Plant's lesson: no matter how many groupies you sleep with, if you write a loving song to your wife, you will stay together because it's all okay. And I just love it goes from this raw sort of funk into, with overtly sexual connotations, into just the most romantic love song written by Led Zeppelin. It just doesn't get much better. I can't find the box right now, but Definitely Maybe by Oasis. I love the opening. I love Rock and Roll Star, Shaker Maker, and Live Forever. Live Forever is my favourite Oasis song, but I just think for a debut album, for an opening, it just summed up the essence of Oasis, and you're just ready for how they were going to go on. And I wish I had it. I thought it was in my brother's collection somewhere, but I can't find it. I'm going to have to end it here because I just have gone on way too long. I don't know how long this video is now, like a quarter of an hour or something. But I've had to cut out so many albums, I can't even tell you. I might have to do an extra video one time, indulge myself. And yeah, that is about it for now, I think. Yeah. Oh god, I've got to stop hesitating, this is going on even longer. Okay, shut up Katie, shut up, okay, that's it for now, and you'll see me next week. I don't know what word we're doing yet, You'll see me then.